It is my privilege to introduce to you the attending members of the United States Astronaut Hall of Fame. This astronaut made his first flight as pilot of Gemini 11, during which he successfully rendezvoused with the unmanned Agena target vehicle and performed two spaceflights. Gemini 12, but he is most well known for landing at the Sea of Tranquility alongside Neil Armstrong in 1969. Buzz Aldrin. For 11 days aboard Apollo 7, the first manned Apollo mission and the first to provide a live television transmission of onboard crew activities. He later served as NASA's chief of the Skylab branch of the flight crew director, Walter. Pilot for the ill-fated Apollo 13 mission. He also served as backup lunar module pilot for Apollo 8 and 11 and backup commander for Apollo 16. He went on to command one of two crews that flew the Space Shuttle prototype Enterprise's approach and landing test flight in 1977. Fred Haise. Apollo 16 when he claimed the record for the longest lunar spacewalk. During 3 outside excursions over 3 days, he and Commander John Young drove a lunar rover 16 miles and collected 213 pounds of lunar rock and soil. Charlie Duke. Worked in orbit for 59 days and spent 11 hours on 2 spacewalks outside of the space station. Later, he commanded the 3rd orbital test flight of Space Shuttle Columbia STS-3, Jack Lowson. 59 days of the Skylab 3 mission aboard the Skylab space station, during which he conducted 3 spacewalks. He later flew aboard STS-9, which carried the first Spacelab scientific research module into orbit. Owen Garrett. The Apollo-Soyuz test project, the first joint mission between the United States and Russia. He went on to command 3 space shuttle flights, including the first mission labeled as operational, STS-5. Vance Brand. In 1981 on STS-1, the very first space shuttle mission. He went on to command 3 more missions, including STS-7, which conducted the first deployment and retrieval exercise with the Shuttle Pallet satellite. He later served as director of NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Bob Griffin. Fully operational flight of the Shuttle Transportation System. He later flew on STS-51A, where he and crewmate Dale Gardner used the manned maneuvering units to capture 2 malfunctioning satellites. Joe Allen. The astronaut program, he logged more than 386 hours in space and flew on 3 shuttle missions. He served as pilot during the maiden voyage of Shuttle Challenger aboard STS-6, as commander of STS-51D, and as commander of STS-51J, the first flight of Shuttle Atlantis. Bo Bauer. He was on the first crew to fly an orbiter in close proximity proximity to a free-flying satellite on STS-7. He then commanded STS-51A and later STS-26, which marked the space shuttle's return to flight following the Challenger tragedy. Rick Howard. Piloted STS-8, the first mission with a night launch and landing. He spent 261 hours in space during STS-32, the longest shuttle mission to date, and later commanded STS-49, the maiden flight of Space Shuttle Endeavour. Dan Brandenstein. Piloted STS-9 and later commanded STS-61B and STS-28. He also played a key role in returning the shuttle to flight following the Challenger accident, leading the Space Shuttle Orbiter Return to Flight team. Brewster Shaw. Served as pilot for STS-41B, which culminated in the first landing on Kennedy Space Center's runway. He then commanded STS-61C, STS-27, 47, and 71. The first space shuttle mission to dock with the Russian space station Mir. Hoot Gibson. STS-61C and STS-26, and was a member of the first spacewalking team to repair a satellite in orbit. He retains the distinction of being the only American to test fly the Russian manned maneuvering unit. Mickey Nelson. Over the course of 5 space shuttle missions, including STS-41D, the maiden flight of Discovery. During his third flight, STS-31, he helped deploy the Hubble Space Telescope and assisted in its servicing on his next mission. Steve Hawley. STS-51C and commander of STS-31, which deployed the Hubble Space Telescope, and STS-46, which conducted the first tethered satellite system test flight. From 1997 to 2000, he was Deputy Director of NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Lauren Schreiber. Space shuttle mission, he became the first astronaut to log 1,000 hours on the space shuttle and made NASA's first shuttle contingency spacewalk. He is currently a professor of aerospace engineering in the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Jeff Lange. He piloted STS-61C and STS-31, which deployed the Hubble Space Telescope, then served as commander for STS-45 and STS-60, logging more than 680 hours in orbit. Today he serves as NASA's administrator. Charlie Bolden. Program, this astronaut logged more than 66 days in space on 7 space shuttle missions, a record he shared with fellow astronaut Jerry Ross. A 2012 inductee, he currently serves as CEO of the Ad Astro Rocket Company. Franklin Chandelier. On 5 missions. He served as pilot of STS-29 and STS-33 and commander of STS-43 and 58. This astronaut became the 3rd American to live aboard the Russian space station Mir, setting an American record of 128 days in orbit. John Block. During her 12 years in the astronaut corps, including STS-49, the maiden flight of the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Currently, she serves as the Associate Dean for Graduate Programs in the School of Engineering and Applied Science at the University of Virginia. Kathy Thornton. Gentry and served as commander for STS-65 and STS-88. During STS-65, he and his crew set a record for the longest space shuttle mission at that time. He is currently the center director right here at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Bob Van. Hall of Fame astronauts. Gordon's not happy. He doesn't like the view. I got to move over. Before we continue, I'd like to mark the passing of 2 Hall of Fame astronauts since our last Astronaut Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Neil Armstrong and Sally Ride. These space legends made remarkable contributions to the exploration of space, and their legacy lives on through their respective educational endeavors. Neil Armstrong and Sally Ride.